Okay, take a look at the currency markets. Interesting what's going on this morning. Difficult. The dollar is down against the yen. The Swiss franc has sort of been fairly flat against the euro and the dollar. And the euro, after initially spiking up against the dollar, has also come back to flat. Darren Marr joins us right now. He is Deputy Head of Global FX Strategy at Credit Agricole. Ryan Gibbons is Managing Partner at GPS Capital Markets as well with Core. Darren, two different events. The ECB stepping in to purchase Eurozone bonds has one impact, and then the US downgrade has another. Yeah. And you've got intervention from the Swiss and Japanese governments. I mean, if I was a currency trader, I'd sort of be tempted to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I think there's a few greying hairs out there, and I think you characterised well. You said, look, it's interesting and it's difficult. That is exactly what it is. There's so many offsetting, complementary forces at play here. But yeah, and there is a temptation to sit it out, but you know, not many people have that luxury. The perverse thing we're getting at is people trying to participate and they're getting stopped out. Even if their view is right, they're getting stopped out in these choppy markets. Very frustrating.
Ryan, bearing in mind the currency markets can only focus on one thing at a time, and we've got three different things to focus on. What wins out?
Boy, you know, today it's all about keeping your head down, getting through the first couple of hours of trading here in the States, and seeing how it pans out. I agree. I don't think that taking a view one way or the other right now early in the morning is the right way to go. You get stopped out in a hurry.
And Ryan, I'm going to ask you, since you're sitting right here with me, I mean, anecdotally over the weekend I was with a bunch of friends and we were sort of taking turns paying for cab rides and this and that, and everyone was just sort of throwing dollars at each other saying, like, it's not going to be worth much on Monday anyways. I mean, is that the right way to think about the dollar right now in light of everything that's going on?
You know, the U.S. is, we've been embarrassed. Yeah. And that's where we're at today. It's the Moody's downgrade is a shot across the bow. It's a wake-up call to us as a country, and I think that we have to go about our business and get our lawmakers to, I hate to say it, take cue from what Italy's doing. Come out and say we need to be better. We need to go about righting the ship. And I think that we've already seen what's going on with the U.S. dollar. 25 years I've been doing this, and it's pretty tough to go look and see. We ought to have a little bit of pride in ourselves and recognize that we have only ourselves to blame.
Darren, what will be fascinating, of course, is what the likes of China do with their reserve allocation. Do you think we are likely to see a faster pace of appreciation for the renminbi?
Honestly, I don't think so. I mean, they just own so much stuff in America that they're not going to shoot themselves in the foot. I mean, I think what was interesting is they weren't quite so reassuring as some of the other Asian central banks and the other, Russia as well, holders of treasuries saying all the right things. China were a bit like, well, come on, you need to get your act together in the States. But, you know, look, they own a chunk of this stuff. They're not going to start causing the next ripple of panic in the market. It just would not be in their interests.
So look, what happens to the and what was interesting is overnight the risk currencies Aussie and Kiwi got sold off, yeah, even as the euro was rallying. And what you've both effectively said is we don't know what the right trade is to make at the moment. There's
no clean trade. I mean, if somebody says, how do we participate in a view at the moment? Well, we have to say, well, hold on, what's your view? Are we looking at the US embarrassment as described? Are we looking at the Eurozone embarrassment, where we've had about 20 in the last year? You know, how do you trade this? I still suspect at the end of the day, when it's uncertain, people will gravitate towards the dollar. So I don't think, you know, those taxi fares are going to be so great. And I think that will be the underlying theme. Within that, then, we'll have intervention, we'll have risk on, risk off, but broadly I still think people will gravitate back towards the dollar on balance.
Okay, Darren, thanks for that. Darren Marr, Deputy Head of Global FX Strategy Credit Agricole. Ryan, thank you as well, Managing Partner at GPS Capital Markets Corp.